freight 985 to come back up ahead.
21.
Sir, need a card for a parking problem on truck when you're ready.
Rocky, have 505. 21.
Sir, need a card for a parking problem.
Beyond the Call is a monthly program featuring public safety and educational topics with the Richmond Police Department. Beyond the Call is brought to you exclusively by Babcon Electric.
Hi, I'm Rick Babuka, Vice President of Babcon Electric. Babcon Electric is proud to support Beyond the Call. We have been an active community sponsor for over 20 years. And if you need electric repair, don't hesitate to call. Call Babcon Electric at 859-623-3848 and expect superior service. Service beyond the call. Enjoy the program.
Hi, good afternoon. It is Friday, June 22nd. We are here at Wallingford Broadcast and the WBON studios. My name is Sergeant Josh Hale. We are here for our Beyond the Call podcast and radio program. This is a monthly program that we put on, of course, every month, and we talk about a lot of things that are going on in your community and a lot of things that we have going on with the Richmond Police Department. My special guest today is Director of Richmond Parks and Recreation, Erin Moore. So we'd like to thank her for being here. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
You are very welcome. We're happy to have you here. This program is also brought to you by Babcon Electric. They sponsor us and take care of us every month with this program so we can keep it going. We've been going since about December now. So today we're going to talk about some fun stuff with you. We're going to kind of talk about some of the things that you do in your career and in your job. You have a pretty big role with things here in the city. Is that right?
That is true. We have a lot of things rolling all the time, and trying to keep them all moving along so everybody's happy is a great thing to do for the city.
Well, so we're going to talk basically some summer stuff. So kids are out of school today. The whole summer they're out of school, and we want to make sure that they have plenty to do. They're already driving parents crazy, so we want to make sure that we give them something to do to get out of the house. But before we do, I wanted to give a little update for Richmond Police Department. Kind of give a congratulations to some people that we have going on. We have graduated several new police officers from the police academy today, and then I also want to congratulate Sergeant Daniel Deaton for finishing the Academy of Police Supervision. So when these guys watch this, I think it's important for us to mention them and let them know that we appreciate them too. So the good news for our community is, no matter what we got going on with Parks and Rec, you got more police officers coming out there. We got more things going on to help keep our community safe. So thank you for letting me put that in there. Now, without further ado, Erin, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Okay. Well, you mean tell me about what I do for the Parks Department?
Sure. Anything that you want to tell.
So right now it's the summertime, so everything has started. Usually in May, we're planning, we're making sure everything is about to open. And then in the summertime, we're making sure that everything is flowing well and that we don't have any issues. So we are in charge of the miniature golf course at Lake Reba, and we are in charge of the batting cages there and the mini golf. We also are in charge of the pool, which is Paradise Cove, and that, as you know, is a very happening place to be in the summer. We've got 1,100 people can attend daily at one time. Sometimes we have lines, so everybody needs to be on the lookout that if we do reach capacity, which is set by the fire marshal, we need to make sure that we don't let anybody in over the 1,100. We also have summer camp, which is a very fun thing to do. This week, they just finished up their swim lesson week, so they went to Paradise Cove in the morning. They swam, did their swim lessons, and then they stayed at the pool and got to have lots of swimming this week. So that's another fun thing that we do. We also have, this is the third week of that, so we will have 5 more sessions of summer camp, and that is held in the basement of the rec center, and they do go swimming twice a week with that camp.
So how can, I guess, our public, our community be a part of that? You and I are no strangers to summer camp, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. But how can our community get involved with that? Let's say we have parents that want to drop their kids off or they want to be a part of that. How can they do that?
They can register on our website, and I am so excited we have a new website. Have you checked that out yet?
Yes, we do have a new city website, so props to our IT department also.
Yes, so the website is very user-friendly. It's richmond.ky.us, and right now they're doing some other updates with the website, so I'm hoping that by the time this airs, it will be up and running. But there's a couple like our parks websites, they're still working on it. But if you go to richmond.ky.us, look up recreation, you can find the Parks Department website. You can register online for summer camp. You can register online for swim lessons. There's an online registration link there. But you also can see a lot of fun pictures of all of our parks, and you can see pictures of the pool and mini golf. And I'm sure with your department, you can see a lot of pictures of your officers
That's
and
right.
things you've
Yep.
done and events. So we are very excited about the new updates for our website. I don't know how much you are, but our department is extremely excited.
We are, and actually, that's I'm glad you brought that up. That wasn't on our notes here, but for those of you that want to see something going on about Richmond, and I know we have a lot of people that watch this that are not from Richmond, and we have a lot of people that maybe you want to come visit Richmond, or you want to maybe even think about moving to the community of Richmond. But you can check that website out, www.richmond.ky.us, and you can see all the different departments that we have. You got police, fire, parks and rec, all the different things that the city has to offer. So
Golf, tourism.
absolutely. So check that out, and that's one of the things that we didn't plan on talking about, but we're glad we can do a little promo for that. So I guess basically you have a lot on your plate with everything going on with Parks and Rec. Is that right?
Yes, we also take care of shelter reservations, so you get a lot of people into our offices, which we moved last year to Irvin McDowell Park, and we're in the Big Blue House, which is the Irvington House Museum. So that facility is open for tours, but then we also take a lot of people that come in and they do the registrations, they do pool memberships there, and shelter reservations for Irvin McDowell, Lake Reba, Million Park, Camp Catalpa. So we have lots of things going on all summer long.
Now, where is the Irvington House at? Just what street is that off of? Just
It's
for
off
simple.
of Lancaster Avenue, and it's the Big Blue House. We are the park that is right next to EKU. Sometimes people think it's part of EKU, but it's not. We are a city park. There's about 15 acres at Irvin McDowell, and we have the house, the Irvington House Museum. There's a playground, shelters, and then the girls softball is located on the bottom portion of that facility.
Okay, so a lot of different programs, and of course, you all don't just stop with summertime. We keep going year round with this. I know wintertime is kind of our lull, but obviously we do summer softball and we do all kinds of things. So you all do a lot of different things that people can be a part of.
Yes, our seasons change. For every season, we have new programs and new events and new activities that we are promoting and helping and working with community members and trying to just make sure that our community is active and involved and engaged.
Well, for somebody that's lived here for many, many, many years now, not originally from here, I've seen a lot of park systems and traveling and different things, and I don't know, I don't want to sound too arrogant when I say this, but I think our park system is second to none. I mean, we have a pretty great park system that you all work very hard to maintain, and we appreciate it.
Yes, and our Buildings and Grounds department does a really good job of trying to keep that up. And we have 7 parks that we're maintaining, but they also have other responsibilities that aren't in the parks. So they're in the community, and they're working hard to try to keep our parks looking good.
Well, we appreciate it. I'm sure our community does. So I'm glad that you brought that information to us. We are actually going to take a little break right now. We're going to bring our sponsors in and let them talk about something for you. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about summer safety and some of the tips that you can do to keep your kids safe. And then, of course, after that, we'll talk about some of the programs that we have going on this summer and with the Richmond Police Department and Parks and Rec. So, as always, we are at the WBON studios, and this program is sponsored by Babcon Electric. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Rick Babuka, Vice President of Babcon Electric. Trust the experts at Babcon with your summer electrical service needs. One call will make your home safer, more comfortable, and more energy efficient. No job is too big or too small. We'll arrive promptly and get the job done right the first time. Babcon technicians are fully licensed and insured. Plus, we're a proud member of the Better Business Bureau. Babcon Electric, serving Central Kentucky for over 20 years.
Beyond the Call is brought to you exclusively by Babcon Electric.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Call with the Richmond Police Department. My name is Sergeant Josh Hale. This program is sponsored by WBON Studios, which is where we are at, and Babcon Electric. My special guest today is Erin Moore, Director of Parks and Rec. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
So In the last segment, we were talking a little bit about some of the things that Parks and Rec does and some of the programs that you have going on. So we're going to kind of segue into some very, very important information for our community because it's summertime. The other day, we've had rains this week, and we've been out working and training a lot this week. And the other day, it was 98 degrees while we were outside. So very, very hot outside. Lots of stuff going on in the summer, of course, activities-wise, because you can go outside and it's warm. But we need to take some safety precautions to take care of ourselves too. So with that, we're going to kind of jump into some of these summer safety tips and kind of talk a little bit about how Parks and Rec works with these programs.
Sure. So one of the biggest things I think is pool safety. And so a lot of people do have pools in their backyard. So they need to make sure that if you have children swimming, they need to have a parent watching them at all times. Apply sunscreen because it is hot and kids do get sunburn. Protective clothing is really important. One of the things at Paradise Cove is we do ask people to wear no cotton in the pool. That's more for clarity issues. So like if you've got your detergent can go into the water and it can make it be cloudy. So that's why we ask people to wear non-cotton shirts, more like the swim attire type shirts, like anyway, the swim shirts. They can wear those or in swim bottoms and always have to wear a swimsuit. The other thing about that is like on our slides, we need to make sure that people are not having the metal buttons or grommets or rivets or whatever those metal pieces are on your swimsuits. Mm-hmm. You can't go down the slides because when those go down the slides, it actually causes the plastic, it will catch on the plastic, and the next person that goes down they can get scratched on their back. So we don't want people to be hurt on our side. So that's why we ask people to not have those metal pieces on their swimsuits.
So if you haven't been to Paradise Cove, obviously we have a lot of different things out there, a lot of slides for kids and adults alike, bigger slides. But you just want to make sure that everybody has a good time. And I'm glad you put that little bit of information out there because, a lot of times people will get upset if they show up to go down a slide and then they don't know what's going on or what, they go to whatever store that they bought their swimsuit at and then they can't use the slide. So I'm sure our community will appreciate that. And I think you guys are working on getting signs and different things
yes.
to get that information out there. But, share that information with the people that you see out in public whenever you go swimming and such. So what else do you guys have going on with that?
Well, we've also got, you really need to make sure you're listening to lifeguards. Our lifeguards are out there and they tell people to walk all the time because little kids are running. It's really slick on the concrete. So we need to make sure that people are listening to the lifeguards. The reason they ask you to do things is so that we are staying safe in the facility. Another thing is the staying hydrated. And when you're at the pool, you're swimming, you're in the water, but sometimes you forget that you actually need to be hydrated. Mm-hmm. So you need to make sure that you're drinking water. Paradise Cove does not allow outside food or drink, but we do allow people to bring water bottles because we feel that is a very important thing. It's a safety issue.
So obviously you all have a lot of concerns going on for a lot of people. I think you said up to 1,100 people can be at Paradise Cove at one time. So that's
yes.
a lot for our lifeguards. It's a lot for the staff of Paradise Cove. So anything that our community can do to help out keeping everybody safe so that everybody can enjoy that area together would be a good thing. What else do you guys, kind of talk about during the summertime whenever you have your summer camps? And, obviously you all travel a lot just like our summer camp does.
Right.
You have a lot of different age kids. So what are some of the other things that you all would look for to take care of kids?
Well, we tell kids when they're out, if they're riding their bikes or riding their skateboards, make sure you wear your helmets. Those
sure.
are easy things that they can do that will protect them. If you're on the playground, some playground equipment, not necessarily in Richmond. We have a lot of plastic playground equipment, but it can still get pretty hot if it is out in the sun because we have temperatures of 98 to over 100 sometimes in the summer. So it still can get hot. We don't have the metal slides like in other places. And that is, I survived it when I was little, but we also said, okay, it's hurt and we stopped playing on it. So that's kind of where the plastic slides have been implemented and all of our equipment out in all of our parks, there's no metal so that we can avoid that issue.
So a lot of different, just because of the temperature outside, that's a lot of the things that we're focusing on. One of the things that you mentioned with the with the slides, there's other things too. If you go to a fair, if you go to a place that has inflatables, make sure that you use caution, because these inflatables also, if they don't have water, they're not water inflatables or some kind of water ride or whatever, get very, very hot.
Yes.
So, monitor your children. Don't just go drop your kids off somewhere and let them, go to a bouncy house or whatever you call it, and then not, if something happens, we're talking about smothering or anything like that. So, just things like that are very, very important when it comes to the sun.
Absolutely.
So what else do you all do with Parks and Rec? Anything specific that you all focus on with the kids? Maybe anything in the woods, or if they travel and, if they go learn about nature or anything?
Obviously, we tell people they can wear bug spray because ticks are really bad. I don't know that Richmond has had any of the issues like Virginia and up northeast, but that could be moving in. There's diseases that come along with those ticks.
Sure.
And also, mosquito bites, and some people are just highly allergic to bug bites. So always protect yourself against that. You can also, there's oils you can use if you don't want to use the sprays that will help with that as well. Wear hats. That's an easy thing for people to do to protect against the bugs, but also protect against the sun. So that's another thing that we can tell people to do.
But a lot of this can be avoided by just simple safety techniques that you can use. If you're going out, hiking in the woods or walking in nature or whatever, wear pants, wear the appropriate clothing so that you can protect yourself. Sunscreen, even to the face, even to
behind the ears is really important.
Yeah.
On your ears. I've had several people that I know personally that have actually had skin cancer behind their ears or on top of their ear because they didn't put sunscreen on well enough. So
basically lather up everywhere with the sunscreen.
Yes.
In the sun, and take care of yourself and your children. Lots of things that maybe we take for granted whenever we go out, and we all want to go out and have a good time. We all want to go out and spend time with our family, whether it be cookouts or any other event that we do. But we got to make sure that we protect ourselves too. While we're talking about ourselves, another important thing that we need to talk about is, the police department gets a lot of calls frequently on pets in cars, and pets that have been, been out without, they look like they don't have any water, anything like that. So make sure that you're taking care of your dogs, your cats, your horses, whatever you may have, anything that you may have. They need water. They need to make sure that they're taken care of also.
we have a dog park out at Lake Reba,
So
and
that's another thing,
we're
yeah.
actually getting ready to replace the water fountain that's there with a new one. It is a pet fountain, so it does have like a little bowl at the bottom. So that's another option for your animals, that you can go and get them water while you're at the park.
And you all have a big dog park and a little dog park, is that right?
Correct. So they're divided by size. So if you have a smaller dog that you want to separate from the bigger dogs because you're just worried about them, you have a little place that you can go there. And then the bigger dog park has got more running space, and there's some mulch there, kind of cut down on the mud issue that we used to have. So it does a really nice place to take your animals.
So where is that located at Lake Reba?
It's right next to the walking trail and the playground.
Okay, so close to the lake, coming from the back entrance, I guess. But
Yes.
it's very close within distance to get to it very simply, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So any other things involved out there at Lake Reba? Do you all have any boating things, anything like that?
We do have kayak rentals. They are not through our department, but we have contracted with someone who does kayak rentals. And whenever people go out, they have to wear their life jackets, and they have to take their paddle with them. If there's lightning out on the water, obviously you don't want to be on the water, so they'll call them back off. But you can boat and kayak as long as you have a trolling motor on your boat. And then if you are kayaking, you don't need a motor, obviously. So you can go out there and enjoy the water.
All right. Well, I hate to jump around on you all. We kind of get sporadic sometimes. Whenever you have a thought cross your mind, you want to talk about it. But with that in mind, we're going to take a break again for just a second for our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of the upcoming events that we have and some of the different things that we have going on with the Richmond Police Department. So, as always, we're at WBON Studios, and this program is sponsored by Babcon Electric. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Rick Babuka, Vice President of Babcon Electric. Trust the experts at Babcon with your summer electrical service needs. One call will make your home safer, more comfortable, and more energy efficient. No job is too big or too small. We'll arrive promptly and get the job done right the first time. Babcon technicians are fully licensed and insured. Plus, we're a proud member of the Better Business Bureau. Babcon Electric, serving Central Kentucky for over 20 years.
Beyond the Call is brought to you exclusively by Babcon Electric.
Hi, and welcome back to Beyond the Call. We are at the WBON studios. This program is sponsored by Babcon Electric. My name is Sergeant Josh Hale. We're in our third segment for our program today on June 22nd. We've been talking with Director of Recreation Administration. I was corrected on the official title here, Aaron Moore from the city, and we've been talking about summer safety and a lot of different safety tips and some of the programs that Parks and Rec has to offer this year and every year. So we kind of ended off with a lot of other safety tips. A couple of things we didn't really cover. We want to make sure we mention. First thing is, whenever you're out for the summertime, make sure you're watching your kids. Make sure kids aren't playing in traffic, and kids, make sure that you're wearing your helmets and paying attention for cars. And then adults or teenagers, anybody that's actually driving on the road, make sure that you are watching out for kids that are on the road because it is. In the evenings, it is cooler, and that's when a lot of kids are out and about. So we want to make sure that everybody's being safe and being protected. Another thing that we want to make sure that you watch out for is, when you're outside, a lot of you parents and a lot of you adults or whatever, you're going to be mowing your yard. Make sure you watch out for your children too. Use proper safety stuff whenever you're mowing your yard, doing things, because kids will, they're going to want to come up and talk to mom and dad. They're going to try to come up and see what you're doing. They may want to try to ride on the riding lawnmower or something like that. We want to discourage anything like that so that we can keep everybody safe. So that, and then another thing that we wanted to talk about was the fact that you want to make sure, we talked about pets in hot cars and everything, but there's a lot of what you see on the news a lot of times with kids in hot cars, and something happens with children being left in hot cars. These are one of the most dangerous things that we can do for our kids. I mean, you're basically putting a child, in a situation that they have no control over if they can't get out of, the seat belting like that. In Kentucky, unfortunately, I read a study, did a little research for this program. Kentucky is the 8th leading state in the country for hot car deaths, and that's just unacceptable. So make sure that you're paying attention and slow down enough to find, if you've got your kids with you, make sure that you're taking care of them, and make sure you don't we get it, everybody gets busy, but just slow down and just take a breath and watch and pay attention to make sure that you're protecting your kids. So now that all that's out of the way, we have some great upcoming events coming up for both the Richmond Police Department, the City of Richmond, Parks and Rec. So I'm first going to talk about something we have going on. I did a little promo right before we did the program here about an event coming up next weekend, June 30th at 6 p.m. at Richmond Raceway. We have RPD night. So if you like race cars, if you like loud mufflers, loud engines or whatever, and you like hanging out with police officers, come out. We're going to have a police day. Kids can hang out with the police department and some of our officers, and you can have a good night at racing. So
How much does that cost?
I have no idea.
Oh.
But you can find information on our website, www.richmond.ky.us with that. And then also on our Facebook page, we're promoting all that. That is sponsored actually by the Richmond Raceway out there off of 52. So unfortunately, I wish I had the price for you. I don't. So, but I do have information I know that you have information on probably the largest event that we do here for the city, and that's our July 4th extravaganza.
Yes. So July 4th extravaganza will be on Wednesday, July the 4th. People ask us that all the time. When is the 4th of July? It's actually on the 4th of July. We have the fireworks will go off at 10 o'clock. That's our biggest attraction when people come, is they want to know when the fireworks are. That's at 10. We do have the festival starts at 5. We've got food vendors. We've got some other vendors that will set up. Some are crafts. Some are people just handing out information. We have inflatables for the kids. We'll also this year, which is something new, this is the 220th birthday for the city of Richmond.
Oh, wow.
And we were born and established on July the 4th. So one of our celebration aspects is we're going to have free mini golf from 5 till 11 that night, and while supplies last. So so you might have to wait for the clubs if we're out of clubs. But we're also going to have free swim at the pool from 5 until 9 that night. So
That's a lot of good stuff.
that's
then.
a lot of good stuff. So that's a lot of fun. Bring some more people in, hopefully, and then they can stay around, come to the festivities. The food vendors will be by the soccer concession stands and bathrooms, and then we will have live bands again this year.
Okay, well, so lots going on. Now, this is, again, one of the biggest events that the city of Richmond does, if not the biggest. So there are things that we're going to have in place. We're going to have lots of police officers out there. We're going to have lots of fire department out there. Of course, Parks and Rec staff, lots of city of Richmond staff to help you and assist you. Is there a fee to get in the gate or anything like that?
When you come in, there's a $5 parking fee, and that will be during festival hours. But other than that, you can, the food obviously has a fee, and if you bought anything from vendors, you would have a fee associated with that. But the music is free. We've got the Dylan Jasper Band. They'll be going on stage at 6 o'clock. Between bands, we have Brandon from the Madison County Library, who will be our DJ for the night, so that'll be exciting. And then we've got Superfecta going on stage at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so big things going on. We're going to have a command post set up out there. Obviously, we want to make sure that we don't have, any missing children, things like that happening. So my recommendation just from the police department would be if you think that you're going to have something, if when it gets dark, it's very, very hard to find children out there.
Yes.
We always have, when we say thousands, we mean thousands of people out there. So, put something on your child that you can recognize them easily. The police department, a lot of times will give out the little flashing lights, but if everybody's got one, it's very hard to see. So do something that'll make your child stand out so that you can find out where they are so that we don't have any missing kids out there.
And some other safety issues with the 4th of July, no sparklers, no fireworks. When there's a big crowd of people try to bring sparklers and fireworks, and that creates a unsafe situation for everyone involved. So we ask that there are no extra fireworks or sparklers, no snap and pops, things like that. We also have we ask that if you do have a grill, you can bring a grill in, but if you bring it in, you have to take it out. So if you have hot coals, you need to leave it in your portable grill, and you need to take it out with you. You cannot dump it on the ground or in a trash can.
So basically, we want to keep our parks the same way they were whenever we opened up the parks to everybody. So lots of people out there, and again, these are all safety tips that we want to put in place for our community's sake. Again, I know everybody loves the fireworks, but we got to make sure that we respect others and be careful. Obviously, alcoholic beverages, not encouraged at all in any way. We understand that sometimes people try to sneak them in, but that's not really something that we want to allow at the park. So again, just use common sense, use caution whenever you're doing these things so we can all have a good time. There will be a lot of people out there, so the better parking will be earlier. That's one of those things.
There will be a lot of people walking, so when you're driving in, there will be a lot of people who are coming in and they're walking and they're crossing streets, so you have to be cognizant of the pedestrians that are around as well.
And at the end of the night, the police department, we will handle traffic and everything. So we want to make sure that everybody understands. We'll get you out of there as quick as we can. But again, there are thousands of people and lots of cars. So just be patient with us. We'll do the best we can to get that going.
We do close down the inbound lanes of the park, and everybody is going out when after the fireworks are over. So we get people out. It's been very smooth transition the past couple of years since we started doing that, and we get people out onto the bypass. If you're in the left-hand lanes, you're going to turn left. If you're in the right-hand lanes, you're going to turn right, and then you can find your destination after that. But that's going to be the quickest, most efficient way for us to get people out, and we hope that everybody can work with us on that.
And that's information that everybody needs to know, that when the park is closing and we are letting people out, you will not be able to get back in. So keep that in mind as you're picking up your kids, as you're picking up your families or whatever. That's something that you need to know. So big event coming up with that. I'm getting the nod that we have a limited amount of time here, but we got a couple more things we want to go over. Several big events going on with the police department. The next one after that is after school gets started, but we have our big Dunk a Cop event. That is sponsored with Dunkin' Donuts, so all the people can make fun of the police and donuts, and we just embrace that cliche there. But it benefits Big Brothers Big Sisters. That will take place on August 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's at the Richmond Police Department. So you're going to get your chance to, we're going to have a Dunkin' booth, so you're going to get a chance to throw a softball and dunk a cop. I'll probably be up there again. We're going to have some inflatable games for kids. Lots of different things going on. Of course, Dunkin' Donuts will be there, Big Brothers Big Sisters, but absolutely free to our public. It's a very, very fun event. event we want you to be a part of. Another thing that we have going on, which is something that some of our staff here at WBON has been a part of, is our Citizens Police Academy is getting ready to kick off again soon in September. So this is from September 10th to November 12th, and that'll be from 6:30 at night until about 8:30 or 9. We've always gone over every night, so we get into that. That's a Monday night. So not something that you really have to commit a lot of time to, but we do ask that if you're going to do that, we want to make sure that you're there every week. So that's on Monday nights. Applications are available online on our city's website on the police page, and they're also available at the Richmond Police Department. So we have a lot of good partnerships with that. And then, of course, we have our big Turkey Bowl game coming up in November with our flag football game against the fire department, and we'll give you more to come about that.
Who won last year, Josh?
I just want everybody to know that the police department has the winning record. So there's been a couple of years that we've stumbled a little bit, but I feel like we're back on top of things. So let the trash talking begin, and it's again June 22nd, and that'll be in November. So. As we wrap it up here, I want to talk about a few little things here, very, very important. These are kind of the public service announcements that we do every time. Of course, this will be, we got a great staff here with WBON that's recording us right now, that's, monitoring what we're doing. They put all this on our podcast, on our program, once this is done, and you'll see all these things at the bottom of your screen as we write these down. But this will be published on our Twitter page. It's published on our Facebook page, on the page of WBON. Maybe I can talk Aaron into sharing it on their page now. So we're really getting the information out there. But we do want to make sure that you understand that Facebook and Twitter for the police department is not monitored 24/7. So if we get messages all hours of the day and night, and we understand that you want to send us information, we do have a team of officers and people from the chief on down that works very diligently on trying to take care of your concerns. But understand that it is not 24/7. So with that being said, if you have something that you have going on and you have something that you need to tell the police or EMS or fire or anything like that, please don't send it to Facebook. Please don't send it to Twitter. Call 911 if it's an emergency, and that'll get you any emergency service here in town. If it's a non-emergency, make sure you call 859-624-4776, and that's our dispatch number. And again, if we're very, very busy, be patient with us, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. We have a very high call volume, but we want to make sure that we take care of your concerns. So again, make sure you don't post that stuff to Facebook and Twitter. Some public service announcements that we have. Summertime, lots more people out and about at night. Sometimes there's people out breaking into cars, different things like that. But many times it's not people breaking into your cars. It's cars being left unlocked. So make sure you lock your cars, lock your house up. Don't make it easy for thieves to come and take your stuff. Pay attention to your surroundings, all these things that again, we talked about traffic, we've talked about summer safety with sunscreen, all these different things. Just basic common sense stuff can help keep you safe. We want to make sure that we make Richmond as safe a community as we possibly can. That's why we have these great partnerships that we do. So with that in mind, we want to remember all those safety tips we talked about. Aaron, I've talked a lot here. I kind of do that on my wrap up here. I do that every time. But is there anything else that you can think of that you would like to tell our community as we kind of wrap this up?
Well, they can get all of our information on our Facebook page, which is Richmond KY Parks, Facebook/Richmond KY Parks. And then also we have a Paradise Cove page, Paradise Cove KY, our website, richmond.ky.us, and search for recreation. And just to throw this out, in the next week or so, we will have rate increases for a lot of our facilities and services. So we don't have all that in writing yet, exactly what's going to be affected, but there will be rate increases for the pool, for miniature golf, summer camp, because of these new regulations that we have going on through the Parks Department and through the state that we have to follow. So just to throw that out there.
So just information that the public needs to know. It's not necessarily something we wanted to do, but obviously we're regulated by law to do so.
Correct.
So just be prepared for those rate increases. Anything else?
Thank you for having us.
Well, we are very glad that you've come with us. And again, this is Aaron Moore, the Director of Recreation Administration. I got the title wrong twice on 2 segments, so I want to make sure I get it right this time. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, WBON with Wallingford Broadcasting, Babcon Electric. Thank you for allowing us to do this program. And my name is Sergeant Josh Hale, and this is the completion of Beyond the Call with the Richmond Police Department.
Tracking inside the fence.
Beyond the Call is a monthly program featuring public safety and educational topics with the Richmond Police Department. Beyond the Call is brought to you exclusively by Babcon Electric.